Hello, friends. Welcome to another GI interview. I am Alex Stadnick. Joined with me today, Liana Rupert. Hello, Liana.
Hello.
How are you doing?
I am excited to
I am too.
with these guys.
Yeah.
It's gonna be fun.
I was going to say, because it's not just us, believe it or not. We're here with the cast from Alpha Betas, a new exciting cartoon that dives into some fun video game tropes. We are joined today by BasicallyIDoWrk, AM WILDCAT, and Terroriser. Gentlemen, how the hell are you? It's good to be here.
I am good. Can't speak for them though.
I'm tired as shit. Sorry, I'm tired as...
Yeah. There we go. Thank you for bleeping that. I appreciate that. Yeah.
What a start.
It's a beautiful thing. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. So, gentlemen, I would love to know how you guys kind of got started with the project. What drew you to it? Like, what was the inspiration behind that? And then we can go from there. So,
money.
Always wanted to answer that.
It was purely for monetary, gain. That's all. That's the only reason why.
Let Brian take it away, Marcel. You and I have answered this one a few times.
We were all drunk at E3.
That's not true.
Well, it kind of was.
Start that way, though.
It kind of was.
We were all getting ready to get drunk at E3.
Yeah. So like we did our own little animation kind of a little while ago about our group called the Team 6, an animation thing, and I think we just really enjoyed how it turned out and the kind of the process, and I think we kind of got a bit of an idea that we're actually decent at it. Like we actually had an interest in it and it was pretty good. And then we were at, like Marcel said, we're in Vanos's back garden. It was myself and Marcel. Tyler, were you there?
Yeah, I was there.
He was there.
This is E3 2018.
Yeah. And we were just in the back. We were just and we were just there. We were there with a few friends. We're at this little fire pit, and then we were just kind of talking.
It was very romantic.
Stuff. It was actually quite nice. Just Sunset. The idea. I think Evan Vanos just kind of threw out the idea. Just I don't know if he had been talking with someone else about the idea of doing it, but he just kind of threw it out there, and I don't know if it was a little bit of alcohol, but we just kind of were like, yeah. Let's do it.
Good show.
It's like one of those things, like the next day you'd completely forget about it, and I think maybe one or two of us kind of did, but I was kind of like, was he serious? Because there's a lot of times where I feel with Evan, like he'll say something, but I don't know if he's fully like into it, like it's definite, but then it just kind of kept reoccurring up as like a conversation to actually get the ball rolling, and then eventually it did, and that's really it. Just started as a little conversation.
So did you guys have to pitch it outside of just your group, or how did that process go?
So one of the companies that we're partnered up with in producing the pilot is 3 Black Dot, and they work with us on a lot of different stuff, a lot of branding stuff, influencer management, talent management, that kind of thing. And basically they had money to fund some projects, and this was one of the projects that we kind of came to them being like, hey, this is like perfect. And that's kind of their goal, like as a company, is to take influencers, content creators that want to do, big projects or something cool, and they make it possible. And that's we just kind of came to them, and they really got the ball rolling on things. And yeah, and they did a great job because they got us connected with Starburns and our show writers and everything. So yeah,
took off very fast. We had no idea. It was it was like a bullet train arrived. We're like, do we get on this thing? Like, what's going on?
It got so real, so fast. But yeah.
How did you guys come up going from like a fireside chat though, like drunken? It sounds like there's some alcohol involved. You guys have some pretty big names attached to this. Like you guys have people from Brooklyn Nine-Nine,
Rick and Morty,
Friends. So like, how did that evolve? Because
that was all complete surprise to us.
Yeah, that was all Chris Bruno and David Lee, our showrunners, and 3 Black Dot and Starburns. It was all of them making those connections. We're just very fortunate that they were able to do that. Obviously.
Yeah, we had like a black and white animated version of our thing, and we did our lines, and we had people that were like behind the scenes, like our managers and people that worked at 3 Black Dot doing placement holder lines, just so we could like get a feel for the animation. And then one week we got it back, and we were like, is that Chris Parton? And they're like, yeah. He said, yeah. And we were like, wait, what? Can we just like stop? Like we paused, and that's how it happened. We had no idea.
Freaked out with Joe DiMaggio. I'd have been like,
yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Someone had to tell me. Like, I was like, why do I know that voice? Why do I know that voice?
we were like, wait, that sounds like really familiar.
Like, oh, is that Marcus Phoenix?
It's me growing up, but me as a Futurama, like I was watching lots of Futurama growing up, and then now I'm going around telling my friends, yeah, vendors in my show.
You know.
What? It was kind of like a real big surprise where I think like the three of us would have been kind of looking at each other like, really? Like, how did they do that? We're like Marcel said, we kind of just held on, and then just they kind of took over and made things happen. And then each week something new would pop up and we're like, whoa, God, this is actually really materializing into something really much bigger than I guess we could have fathomed.
A lot more professional too. So we were
way more professional
than we're used to.
That should be associated with our names. Way more. So it's really exciting, and it's I think a huge amount of like props should be given to everyone else that was involved. Like we the first people to put our hands up and say it had nothing to do with us.
We were just here. We were here.
Oh, they're huge fans of our YouTube channels. They were like, sign me up straight away.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So do you guys film this last year, right? In 2020, or was this something that was started pre-COVID?
It was started pre-COVID in terms of like planning and like trying to get like what we wanted our characters to look like, and we had some general concepts of what we wanted the show to be. And then as far as like finding the writers, which were Chris and Dave. And then once we found the writers, we had a meeting. I don't know if Brian, were you there? I don't know if Brian was there in January of 2020 in LA at 3 Black Dot.
I was in 3BD.
He was on his laptop. Remember, we set his laptop in the middle.
Yeah. So we had like our first like writers meeting there, where Chris and Dave kind of showed us their idea for the show and kind of ran through their idea for the script, and we really liked it. And then from there, it was like their show idea and their script, and us kind of implementing like the different changes to the script based on how we feel our characters would react in the world and in the the scenes that they were placing our characters. And that's really when it started in terms of like getting the show really going, was that first initial like meeting. And then we didn't start voice acting until after like the world had been shut down. So we all did that stuff from home.
We had an entirely different like scenario and world that we had built and characters. And when we picked Chris and Dave to write an actual dialogue, they were like, we love it, but how about this? And then we were just like fell in love with their idea. Like they took what we had and just like applied it to their universe, and it was amazing. We were like, this is perfect. And then we started over, and then we met those guys. So
what was that collaborative process like? Because you guys are very independent YouTubers who usually are creating your own content. Was it difficult to kind of not necessarily let up control, but like go like, oh, this person is a great writer, he can handle this or she can handle that?
Yeah, ultimately, I mean, a lot of the YouTube stuff we do is very collaborative. Mm-hmm. And ultimately, in terms of how the show is structured, like we have final say on most things creative. So we did have some control over that stuff, but like we placed full trust in like all the people that we had involved. And Chris and Dave did a really, really good job. And it was more of just like, we love this world. Now let us kind of say what we think our characters would do in this world. And that's really where the we kind of had our say. But yeah, in terms of like, it was super fun, like collaborating on everything and bouncing ideas off of everybody. And it took kind of our YouTube videos, which are very like improv and just kind of off the cuff, and like actually having a lot more planning around it was super fun.
Yeah, they met us in the middle with a lot of stuff. There was a few things we were like, no, absolutely not. But like they met us in the middle with a lot of stuff. So it wasn't like a stressful like process at all.
That's cool. So it's kind of like your normal every day, because it's just like, okay, let's.
Except for we have meetings, a lot of meetings.
The meetings were like, this could have been an email.
They're like 2 hour long meetings at like 11 o'clock. And we're like calling Brian, like, Brian, wake up. He's like,
And then the meeting is like, so do you guys like this shade of teal on this character here? It's pretty much 30 minutes about
with a hyphen or without a hyphen. Bold, no bold, shadow, no shadow. We're just like,
don't care.
All good. It's whatever.
Like, what do you want on your t-shirt?
Just screaming into the abyss. It's totally fine. Okay, so I kind of have to nerd out a little bit because I'm a huge shooter fan. Yes. And so we got to see the first episode, which is available today.
But you watched the entire thing?
The entire thing. I enjoyed it. The pilot was really cool. But like, I kind of was curious because like that opening scene, you guys are on the Normandy beach, and as a huge Medal of Honor and Call of Duty fan, I was like, oh, I know that map. how like hard was it to like?
I know that map.
That's how you know gamers are watching the show. Like I was curious because like it's not an exact replica, but like if you've played those games, you obviously know what it is. So like, how did you guys have to jump through any kind of like licensing hoops, or was it kind of like ask for forgiveness later type thing, or how did that work?
We just ran with it. We're like, what are they going to do about it? You know what I mean?
we feel like it's very like generic. You know, I mean, there's a lot of different games that have been in World War II settings. So
yeah, I don't think anyone owns the copyright to Normandy Beach.
It belongs to the Medal of Honor.
we had an entire like call, like probably like 30, 40 minutes because the one of the guns in that isn't historically accurate. And we were trying to change it.
For shame.
And they were like, we're way too far past changing a machine gun. And we're like, but can you do it?
Wait.
I mean, you guys are playing for gamers that are like now spec ops going into video games to save the world. I don't think realism is necessarily.
I was gonna say, wait, isn't this the scene where we see you like body surfing on a corpse?
Yes,
like,
but the gun isn't German.
Oh yeah, the LMG. It's like
LMG is not. It's not a German LMG.
That was like a Browning or something.
Yeah, a Nazi general shooting an American LMG at us. It's like some weird. How did they get that gun?
Right there, man.
Yeah.
we're gonna get canceled over it, like 100%.
I'm disappointed in all of you. Yeah. That is terrible. So when for people that are interested in watching this show, again, which is available today, plug. I'm super good at that.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. How many episodes can people expect? Where can they watch it? And what's the future like? Are you guys kind of going to wait and see how people feel about it? Or do you guys have a couple seasons planned? Like, what are you guys thinking?
Ryan, take it away.
You Tyler, take it away. Son of a... Yeah. I was like, consult our lawyers on this one. Right now, we're waiting for the right potential network to pick up the show. And we just have our pilot. Hopefully, the right fit, comes up, and we can. I'd like to make as many seasons as possible.
We have a ton of ideas and stuff written down. So
all we have at the moment is the pilot, and the idea was we put together like we in terms of all the people involved kind of self-funded the pilot, and we're putting the pilot out there, letting the fans watch it. Hopefully, they like it, and if the support is there and we get enough interest, then more seasons will follow. So. That's the plan. We want to make tons of seasons.
Animations are very expensive to make.
No.
They're very expensive. So, I mean, like it lives and dies with how much support, we get on the pilot. So,
if you guys could pick your network, what would it be?
No, we're not choosing favorites.
Jeremy, we love everyone.
I would love to see Adult Swim pick this up.
Well,
that would be great. Not going to choose favorites.
On that kind of topic, like Liana mentioned Adult Swim, and they're very known for their level of adult cartoon. I feel like Hulu's getting into more adult cartoons. What did you guys do? Like, what influenced you to start, but then also like, how did you guys make this feel different, and what was important to you guys in the creation of the pilot?
I mean, in terms of like how I guess we wanted to make it feel different, we wanted it to make it feel like it was actually made by gamers and kind of for that audience, but really for anybody who kind of understands like internet culture. Like I feel like there's not a lot of good crossover between like internet content creation and typical like Hollywood stuff. Like a lot of the shows on TV, like, yeah, they're great shows, right? But they don't really speak to the same type of people who are like in the gaming scene, the internet culture day in and day out. And so
the Redditors really, of the world.
Yeah, that's really like the two worlds that we wanted to mesh with the show. And so that's like a lot of the jokes and stuff and the comedy is going to be kind of meshing those two worlds and stuff. So that's really where we feel like it's unique.
And are these characters direct representations of your YouTube personalities, or are these created characters?
It's like
pretty direct.
Like 60,
I feel like it's pretty direct.
70% probably.
Yeah. So that makes it really easy
for now. You have to realize that it's literally just one episode has been made with these characters. But it was there's a different direction that maybe the characters might develop. I might start to think, well, maybe I want to bring this guy this way. Tyler might want to bring his guy this way. So as of right now, I guess it kind of just felt more natural. to kind of keep it
like if
to
you
the-
watch like the first season of Stewie and Family Guy, he's like super political, and then he just becomes like sexually curious as the show goes on.
Yeah. So
Or like Meg gets a completely different actress altogether.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, yeah.
So-
Nobody notices.
yeah. So I think that's to be determined, like
Yeah,
where exactly we're gonna go with that. But for now, I think it is quite. You can definitely tell who's Tyler, who's Marcel, who's Brian. Like it's to our viewers. But we also wanted to keep it open enough that it's for people who don't know who we are, can kind of come in and find a natural fit as well. So that was like one main thing we definitely wanted to achieve, is to keep it open and broad enough to allow people, like we have a dedicated fan base and viewership that will support us no matter what, which is great, and we're very fortunate to have that. But we also want to be able to allow that people not just to rely on that too much. We also want to have people come in with a neutral standpoint and still enjoy the show and enjoy the content, enjoy the humor, the jokes, and yeah, I think we're on the right track for sure.
Yeah, I mean,
which is
we,
nice.
we built our current audiences on how we are and how our friendship is and the chemistry between all of us. And so we wanted to keep that natural, obviously, to play our characters natural and to appeal to our current audience. But we feel like new people that might see this, that's how we built our audience. So if we keep the, that kind of dynamic together, then people that watch it will be interested as well. So.
And that was a major part in like Chris and Dave writing the show, is they went and watched like our popular videos to see how we interacted with each other.
Yeah.
And they applied that to, the characteristics of our characters. So
You could definitely see that, especially with your guys' Among Us videos.
yeah.
That I saw a lot of that influence.
The Among Us videos show the best and worst of us and our friend group.
Yeah.
I always tell somebody if they're dating
Right.
somebody new, make them play Among Us with you, and you can
Yeah.
see their true colors.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sassy.
That's
Did
when
you
it gets-
just stab me and then gaslight me the entire? We're over.
It's the true test. Screw IKEA. This is the new test of relationships. It's beautiful.
That's just the
Never been in a
the second
game.
boss, man.
Never been a game that's made my blood boil more than that stupid 2D jelly bean piece of. God, I
But
hate
we
that game.
love you.
Hate it.
So you guys, I know you guys are kind of like, obviously a really tight-knit group of creators that work a lot around each other's content and work collaboratively, like you said earlier. But would you guys, if this, it sounds like you guys are pretty open. Would you guys be open to, if this kicks off and you get greenlit for, say, 12 new episodes, are there any content creators out there that you would like to kind of pull in on this, even for just like a special edition episode?
Our friend group extends past us four, and so we would love to get some of those other guys. We would love to get some of those other guys involved, and I know they would be interested in it too. But it's got to be the right fit. We don't want to just throw people in here, in an environment where they may not be, as good at doing this as they are, whatever the current form of content creation is. So yeah, if there's a good fit for it and it's someone that we have chemistry with and we feel like would be good, then absolutely.
You guys should get Corpse Husband to narrate the really super serious scenes.
You can have him narrate a few things, maybe. Yeah, that could be possible.
His like reach has just it makes no sense, but it like makes perfect sense. Like he has a song with MGK that came out today, and I was like how does this happen?
His voice is like the best aphrodisiac everywhere. Like he just talks and people are pregnant instantly. Like it's,
Women? You mean women are pregnant?
no,
Yeah,
that's the
I'm
power.
not
That's the
pregnant.
power.
Well,
Power
he
is
hasn't gotten to
real.
me yet, so
maybe episode 2. We'll see. Who knows?
Wait till his voice filter breaks and turns out he's like French Canadian with like, hello ladies,
Hey guys.
I like to play Among Us. You're all fooled.
I love it. I would laugh so hard. I could totally see it too. I don't know. I feel like with shows like this, I feel like I think it's been tried before in the past, but the problem is that you have these like writers and things that aren't into the gaming community like you guys are, and that's kind of where the magic breaks a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Is it's aiming towards a gaming audience, but no real understanding of what the gaming audience is.
Mhm.
So I think I feel like if anybody's watching who doesn't already follow your content, I feel like just going off the pilot that I saw and then Alex and I saw, I feel like it's going to resonate a little bit better because it's not the slapstick gamer humor that of like, oh, let's just rely on the super familiar jokes to convey that we're real gamers. Like, there's nuance to it, like the Normandy map and just some of the interactions with each other that I think is really cool. I'm interested in knowing like what part of this project, you know, you guys as individuals, what has you the most excited? Because you said you had a lot of freedom and you said the future is pretty open-ended. So like what are you most excited for? And I don't know, just like what do you think that this is going to bring differently to this community that hasn't really successfully been done before? No pressure or anything.
Yeah, no, I can speak for myself. I'm excited for like that creative freedom, like you said, in terms of like the thing with this animation, and I've said this before, is it's like the next level of the type of content me and my friends have produced, where we're very much like we're us, but we're like characters in the game, and we tend to react like we're actually in the game. Like there's a lot of like not necessarily like role playing and like kind of sandboxy kind of environment. But at the end of the day, we're restricted by what the game allows us to do. And with animation now, we're not restricted by anything. Whatever we can think of, we can draw. And so now we can think of all these crazy different scenarios, all these crazy different worlds, all these crazy different themes that we can place ourselves and our characters into and have fun with that. So that's what I'm really excited about, is just like, because I actually have like a running note tab of just like different episode ideas or little jokes, whether they're about gaming or not about gaming or whatever, just funny scenarios placing our characters and stuff that, you know, should we get multiple seasons, I would love to see happen. So that's what I'm really excited about, is just like that spark for me creatively of being able to really think and know that we can do anything. So,
and like those years when we were playing, you know, Gmod Sandbox and stuff, like are probably our favorite years, because we just got to do whatever. Like Tyler was a bag of Doritos for like 4 months, and he would crumple like some chips every time he walked around over his microphone.
Dreams, kids.
You know what I mean? So like,
then we thought maybe there could be some copyright issues with that. So we dropped the Doritos bag and picked up our own original kind of character design.
Yeah, so like just being able to do, you know, the things that we love to do and have no limitations and stuff like that. So, and bring that like inside joke gaming culture, but like also not have it be a super inside joke. Be like, yeah,
and not be cringy. That's another thing. Like kind of like what you're saying, like with, you know, trying to connect to gamers. Like it can come across as pandering if you're trying to connect with an actual gamer and you don't get it. You know.
Yeah.
And there's also like a fine line of like, there's funny stuff that happens in the gaming world and there's funny stuff that gamers do and stuff, but it's important, like you can laugh at those things, but it's important not to make fun of like gamers, because at the end of the day, like gamers are taking over right now.
Oh hell yeah, we're
at the same time
you don't make fun of us, all right? We know who we are, we know what we do, okay, but you don't make fun of it, all right, because we're taking over. So
I've waited 33 years for this moment.
Exactly.
Goddamn time. Okay, I kind of like not to go full like South Park fangirl, but I really like how South Park kind of balances the line between social commentary without it pandering, without it being preachy, without it's humor disguised as social commentary, disguised as humor. And it's kind of like this human centipede of commentary. For
really like symbiotic relationship.
Okay, yeah. I'm following.
That's probably
a pose
not
of
the way
words,
I should have said that.
I just got like the worst image in my brain.
Yep.
Sorry.
Feed her.
Are you guys planning on doing anything like that? Because I feel like as a community, we always have something going on, whether it's anger at a studio or happiness at a studio or something.
I think we're going to ruffle a few feathers.
Oh.
Yeah, there was a few lines.
I like to poke fun.
There was a few lines and stuff that we wanted to put in, and they were like, this is the pilot, so maybe...
Oh yeah. There was one joke.
There was a few.
There was one in particular that I was in love with.
Say
and
it.
like one of
Say it. Do it. No balls. Do it. Say it.
No.
One like the CEO of like the company that's pretty much producing it gets on the call. No. No. And we were just, come on. Like. So I think as we start to develop an understanding of, you know, I love people that know me, and even Tyler and Marcel, like kind of love threading the line and just kind of pushing some buttons, because I kind of feel the world is like the whole point in like when I started doing YouTube, the reason why I picked the name Terroriser was I wanted to get on Call of Duty and just kind of piss people off, excuse my French, but like that was the whole point. The only reason I set up the YouTube channel was to annoy people that took video gaming way too seriously. I've always had a thing against people that take everything way too seriously, be it, I guess things in the real world, in video games, etc., etc. I think it's great to kind of make jokes. I think it could be also for the fact that I'm from a different part of the world. In Ireland and in England, the humor is very different, a lot more. I guess in America, it's a very much more sensitive world.
Yeah.
As a former Marine, I understand completely.
Which is like,
sense of humor is very.
Which is like a weird relationship with Brian, because like we had to like learn and adjust. Like, oh, Brian's like, he meant that as like a term of endearment. Like, he loves me.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah. I'll say some stuff that people actually have to get like a dictionary out and actually try and figure out, do I like that person? Is he being nice to me? So like with some of the jokes, I love kind of pushing the boundary with some of the jokes. But I also have to try and kind of learn this
we also love parody. We love parody. Yeah. Like that's been a pretty long running theme of like a lot of the stuff we've done on YouTube, like especially a lot of the Gmod sandbox stuff, is we would parody a lot of stuff. So yeah, we love poking fun.
Yeah, I think there's definitely going to be a lot of jokes about the. I want to pick my words carefully here, but like
in the background, your PR is just killing you. Like
the new developing generation of being overly offended by every minute little thing. I would love to make that a running thing, because some of the things people are getting offended by and upset by, I won't even point out some of the things from like even some of the clips that we have put out already. You'll get like 99% of the comments all like, this looks amazing, and then there's this one person, well, actually, excuse me, at 5 minutes and 22 seconds you said this, and then it's just like a full paragraph. It's those kind of people I love to just
we're very familiar with those types.
And it's just like, come on. So
I mean, even if like we're gonna try our best to get as close to pushing the limit as we could. So
I can imagine our PR team listening to this whole thing and just like, oh God,
all of your
John.
Jeremy wasn't here, I would probably say the joke. Not even gonna lie.
No, you would not.
Yeah, true.
All of your interviews are just gonna suddenly be canceled. They'll be like, don't worry about it.
Maybe after the podcast ends, we'll tell you what the joke was.
Okay, there we go.
Do it. I like
Once
it.
record is off. Yeah.
Jeremy said his fingers hovering over the mute button. So, so the joke was.
So anyway, this is the people we're making fun of. They're like, let's tell you everything. No, I think that's good though. I think that's gaming culture in a nutshell too. It's kind of how we cope with things. Yeah. Is make fun of it, and it has less power. Is kind of my philosophy. I'm also the same person that when like tragedy happens, I'm like laughing to stop from crying. So like, the kind of humor hits really well. But yeah, I don't know, Alex, I'm curious what you thought. What did you think about the pilot?
Oh, I thought it was fun. I'm curious. Did you guys have like a ton of say? And forgive me if I'm treading on familiar ground here, but like, was there a certain style of animation you guys wanted to go for? Did you kind of know in the back of your minds what you guys wanted, or did the people who animated it kind of lay out some options? We
got shown a lot of like art styles and kind of animation styles, and we kind of got to pick and choose from there. Overall, we didn't want to get like too crazy and and different. We wanted it to just feel fun and feel like relatable in terms of like the games. One thing we wanted to do was like was different animation styles within different games, which we just weren't able to do with the pilot, but maybe down the line, I think that's something that could be really cool, is different art styles and animation styles as we go in and out of different games. I think that's something that we all really wanted that could be fun. So.
Like WandaVision, how they did.
I like picture styles. We get put in some anime game or something, and it's it's super like kawaii and anime.
You guys should do an anime musical.
Go into Borderlands world.
We have all this stuff written down.
Yeah, we'll just keep adding to the notes.
Yeah, I think another thing we wanted to establish was, I feel like there's in the past maybe 5 years some of these kind of animation shows that came out, and a lot of them kind of, to me, they kind of looked very reminiscent of one another. Like I could never really tell, like, but I wanted a character that we could look at and say, that's from Family Guy, that's from The Simpsons, that's from X, Y, and Z. We wanted to kind of try and nail down a style that was able to differentiate us from other shows, but not to the point where it's way too far out that it looks like you're trying too hard to make it look too different.
Yeah.
and then it kind of looks a little weird. But you know, we kind of, it was kind of in between. Like we really wanted a certain style, but also we were also, I think I can say for the others, we were kind of surprised when we saw like towards the end of the iterations, like properly animated. There's like a train scene, and when we got to see that, I think we all kind of were like, whoa.
Yeah, that was the train
hell?
scene is the first like 45 seconds that we saw fully animated. Everything else was
Yeah.
like black and white,
Yeah.
barely moving.
Animatics.
Yeah, and then that was the first thing we saw. We were like, yes, you did it.
Yeah.
This is amazing.
Like really blew us out of the water.
Yeah, and I think
The
we had
shading
like
and everything was just like
we had like
wow.
like 12 or 14 different animators to choose from or something like that.
I don't remember. I don't remember.
Or art
There's definitely
styles?
a
I
lot
don't
of
remember.
choices. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes when you're making cool stuff like this, I don't know. I just gotta ask, like, does it feel real to you guys, or is it
No.
just like that's how it's?
Yeah, it still doesn't feel like that it's out now. Like, because we went like a year and a half working on it and not saying a word. Like, we didn't announce it until it was pretty much done. Like, we had done it was like in final stages of being produced. And so, like, yeah, we kind of kept this a secret for like over a year and a half. And so now that like it went from like, oh yeah, we've just been working on this, not telling anybody, to like, okay, we announced it, and it's like, yeah, it's coming out in the future, and now it's here. So yeah,
And I want the fans to know that I tried every meeting to leak something. And I failed at
he did
every single meeting. I was like, can I just like maybe? And they were like, please, like if I just
just one little Reddit post.
Yeah.
It's fine. All right, Alex, I think if we're going to wrap it up, I have one last request.
okay.
I want you to tell our readers why they should watch the show, but I want you to do it as each other's characters.
As each other's characters. Oh my. I'm only good at playing my characters. So.
I gotta.
We're testing those acting
Hold on,
chops.
wait. I need a moment of silence to get into character.
Okay. All right.
I need Brian. A moment of silence. Okay,
Have you found them?
I found him.
I can't find it. I'm curious who Brian's gonna be.
Oh, it's gotta be you. It's gotta be you.
First, I'll let Brian.
God damn. I'm trying to. How do you?
This is a terrible request, by the way. This is
How do you
awful.
do his voice?
Let's
I want to hear
Yeah.
What?
I don't know.
Wait
Constipated?
for it. Yeah, that's. Can you dig it? Watch the show. It's amazing. Yeah. There you go. That's his character in a nutshell. Can you dig it? That's my
All right,
best
I'll do
impression.
Buck's character, then I'll be all whiny. Just please watch the show, guys. To watch it, it's out now. We worked really hard on it. That's pretty much Brian's character.
The shade
Very-
of it all.
He's always complaining.
But that he is. Buck is a. I can't say the word, but he does complain a lot.
How do you do Evan's character? Is it just like I'm the best?
Just
Watch
very-
the show because it's
Very,
best.
he's very mad. He's
Watch
very
it
just
because
to
I
the-
said
yeah,
so because I'm
he's
the
very
best.
just to the point.
And it's just like you should watch it. It's on Van Oss Gaming's channel. Just watch it.
Just watch
It's
it.
the best pilot of all time.
The best pilot of all time because we're the best. It's what
This
we
was
do.
This was a terrible way.
I think
was
you guys
so
probably
bad.
should stray too
It's
far.
out right
from
now. Just
streaming.
watch it.
Someone's watching this and thinking, "Wow, they suck as
We
really."
suck as each other for sure.
Yeah, it's funny.
Have
You
nice
think
personalities.
no, not at all.
All right. So anybody that wants to watch it, Vanos's channel, it is live now for the pilot.
Mhm.
Like it, share it, comment
some
nothing
love.
but love.
Show some love.
No
Share it
trolling.
with everybody. Share it with your dog, your grandma, anybody who has ever looked at a video game. Share it with
Yeah.
them.
Loop it.
If you got
Just
20
loop it.
different YouTube accounts, just log into all of them, watch it.
And if you leave a trolling comment, make sure it's smart and intelligent because you never know. It might show up in a future episode if it's witty
True.
enough.
That is very
That's
true.
a warning.
Yeah, that's a warning.
Take it away, Alex. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and thank
Thanks for
you
having
guys for joining us. The professional will close this out, but thank you guys. Like, it was really fun chatting with you guys.
Thank you for having us.
I hope this takes off because Alpha Betas was really fun to watch. Again, as a huge shooter fan, I loved having that as the opening sequence. You already had me enthralled and ready to see more. So yeah, I can't wait to see what people think and what the reception is. And I will cross my fingers for Adult Swim.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, gents. I don't know how I could better wrap it up, so I won't. Be sure to like, share, subscribe to the GameInformer.com, YouTube.com/GameInformer. Thanks for joining us. Gents, good luck with the premiere, and we'll see you next time. So bye, everyone.
Thank you.